end. With that, I'd like to invite Iris to share her screen. She's ready. Iris Shen is the principal data scientist at Microsoft Research and holds a PhD in operations research from the University of Southern California. She is the lead data scientist for Microsoft Academic, which leverages the cognitive power of machine learning and the Microsoft Academic Graph to assist humans in scientific research. Her past work includes business intelligence solutions for various web services and large-scale optimization applications in the supply chain management domain. Thank you so much. We can't hear you, Iris, but that's okay if you haven't started talking.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm new to this app, so I'm finding the unmute button for a while.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, thanks for Christine's introduction. So today I would like to talk about how to use the COVID-19 dataset and the Microsoft Academic Graph together to enable the AI and the data science community to mine insights for fighting the COVID-19 together. Okay. Bear with me, I'm also learning how to really operate on the Zoom share and to switch to the next slide.
Oh, it's no problem. Yes, it's not seamless being in presentation mode and using Zoom, and you're not the only one.
Okay, actually, it's very interesting. I'm thinking how to. Okay, so now, so in this talk, I would like to cover the 4 main points. Very first is a quick high-level introduction about what is COVID-19, and the next, what is the Microsoft Academic Graph, or we call it MAG. And then we would like to cover why we would like to link these 2 data sets together and how to achieve this. And at last, I will share some insights and interesting observations about the linked data set, and also about what's next step and the open data available for everyone to work with. It's an abbreviation for the COVID-19 Open Research Dataset. So why we are having this? It is launched, this dataset is launched in mid-March, and it's a response to a request from the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy to collect a set of freely accessible open academic papers to enable AI researchers to create the NLP and the data mining tools to help accelerate the COVID-19 research. So who are the participants for this effort? It's a joint effort among several leading research institutes, include the Allen Institute for AI, which is AI2, and also Microsoft Research, and the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, Georgetown University, and the NIH. So what's inside this data set? It currently contains 52K scholarly articles, including over 41K of them with full text. And it's about the topics around the family of coronavirus for the use by the global research communities. And this is a living corpus, which means that it will be updated on a weekly basis every Friday. And that would be including all the new publications in the peer-reviewed journals and the bioarchive or medRxiv, such preprint services. So how these data sets are generated? We can see that it's coming from multiple data sources, some from the preprint service, some from the PubMed Central provided by NIH. And also the WHO maintain a manually curated list about the latest contents published from the prestigious medical journals. So the AI tool is leading the efforts to harmonize the metadata, such as the titles, authors, venues, abstracts, etc., as well as to parse the PDF or the XML format of the full text and provide a unified JSON format content so that any AI researchers can readily consume, to download and consume. So below, I have two links, which are the full data set are available. One is from the Core19 homepage hosted by the AI tool. The other one is on the Kaggle, because that's also helped to host an open data challenge. So next is about the Microsoft Academic Graph. So this MAG project is initiated in Microsoft Research Redmond, which aims to leverage the AI technology to comprehensively collect and analyze all the scholarly communication, which includes all various formats about including the journals, conferences, proceedings, patents, books, and preprints. So MAG is a heterogeneous graph where the node represents entities in the scholarly communications, and the edge are representing the relationships among them. We can see that from the this star schema, it's essentially answering the who, when, what, and where question, such as which authors affiliate with which institutions or universities, publish about what content or topic at which publishing venues at what time. So this project initially started in 2014, and it's also, the data set itself is also a living corpus, which are updated on a weekly basis to include all the latest academic publications, articles from the web, and various publisher feeds. Actually, the size of the graph is growing very fast. Right now, we are indexing about 1 million new papers on a monthly basis. So you can see from the stats here, as of now, it contains more than 500,000 entities and with billions of relationships, which including more than 700K academic topics. So we basically developed AI agents to scan through all the web documents indexed in the Microsoft Bing search engine, and also multiple types of the data sources are leveraged. And with no surprise, the majority of them are the non-structured document or the unstructured documents. That's usually the most challenging part. So we utilize the NLP and the data mining techniques to help recognize and collect all those academic related entities and the relations to build this academic domain knowledge graph. So here I also have a few links. The very first one is about the project homepage. The second one is we developed a search portal which can search the indexed graph. And the very last one, as these graphs are also freely available, it can be get through the Azure, but however the size is a little bit large. It's 500 GB per week. And if you follow the very last link, you can get a full detailed instruction about how to subscribe and get the MAG corpus. So next, since we talk about the Core19 and the MAG, so why do we want to link them? What are the key motivations behind? The very first is the Core19 metadata. Even there are lots of information, but basically they are non-structured. So there's no entities behind those metadata of Core19 itself. For example, if a paper is published by, say, John Smith, stated in the Core 19, basically we wouldn't be able to know which John Smith he is, which affiliation he is associated with, and what other publications or topics he has written about. Similarly, we have, but the bag, say the Microsoft Academic Graph, it can answer all these above questions because we are doing a pretty good job on the author recognition and the linking, so that all the publications by an author can be grouped and recognized together into a single author profile. Similarly, other than author, we also have entities behind the journals and the topics the papers are talking about where it's published by using all these NLP and the data mining techniques. And also we classify and stamp each individual papers with our 700K plus topic taxonomy. In the Word, it's generate much richer semantics behind just the full text corpus of the Core 19. Okay, and the second motivation is about because when we link the Core 19 and the MAC together, it's actually generate a smaller size, or we call the subgraph of academic knowledge graph behind the document corpus, which would enable a better performance for many traditional NLP tasks, such as the named entity recognition, entity linking, relation extraction, or Q&A, etc. If we are not only have the full text corpus, but also with a good quality knowledge graph behind. And the third question, or the motivation, but not the least, is we have the question, is the Core 19 corpus, the 52K, are they enough? Should we include more papers? The reason is the Core 19, it is still generated or collected with a more traditional keyword search approach to look for those coronavirus related terms, either in the title or abstract or the full text. However, but as we know, we have seen that the treatment for AIDS or even malaria are borrowed for the new coronavirus treatment. So did we miss those part of the important academic literature in the corpus? If the answer is yes, so what should we include and how should we bring them in, right? So with all this motivation behind, we leverage the MAKES, we call it as MAKES API, which is Microsoft Academic Knowledge Exploration Services. I'll skip the details, but with this API, we can link the Core 19 corpus with the MAG paper unique identifier. And with this API, we can actually link the 91% of the corpus, which are represented by the 47K papers with almost 100% accuracy. And if we use this 47K paper as seeds, as a group of seeds, we can traverse the MAG graph through the citation links. We can generate a closure graph with about 58 million papers, which is about a quarter of the full MAG graph. And this closure graph, it aims to address the very last motivation, right? Try to include all the citing papers from the initial 47K seeds through multiple citation hops, so that all the relevant literatures are included when this closure graph converts. So again, this is also a living corpus, since both the Core 19 and MAG are updated weekly. So these mapping results are also updated weekly. And the mapping results are available in the in all the, I think in the first and the third links, and in the second one, we actually provide more details and the technology or tools behind for the Makes API. So if the users like to link additional contents, they can leverage the tools built here. So we have talked about the two data set and how to make them together. I hope the font is not too small. So this slide, we are actually sharing how the enrich the semantics means by providing the entity stats comparison for the three versions of the knowledge graph. The leftmost is original 47K Core 19 linked papers, and in the middle are the Core 19 closure graph with 58 million publications, and the rightmost is the full MAC graph. So we can see that on these blue circles, I highlight these are the stats for the 5 types of academic entities contained in MAG, which are papers, authors, journal affiliation, and field of study or concepts. And as well as various relations, such as the citations, and also we have the different attribute coverage stats. For example, how many papers are with abstract and how many papers are with affiliations or with field of study. These can be leveraged in the later insight analysis in the next slide. We can see that from all these numbers, a general trend is the Core 19 seed subgraph as well as the closure graph subgraph a little bit denser, which can make the overall analysis coverage and quality better. So these are kind of like the insights we would like to share. Say otherwise we have the full text of the Core 19 papers, right? We know it's talking about the coronavirus family contents, but exactly what are they talking about? So on MAG, we have already mined in total 700K plus academic topics, which include 19 top-level domains and 270 subdomains. So all these 289 areas, they are manually curated, including their relationship. However, all the remaining 700K plus topics, they are automatically constructed into a 6-level taxonomy with the help of some state-of-the-art NLP techniques. Those details are in the very last slide. I have the reference slide to have the details in the paper. So you can see that for each paper in MAG, based on its title and abstract, which are providing the textual information about this paper. And since the paper is a node in the knowledge graph, or essentially it's a graph, so we can also obtain some structural information, such as where the paper published and who wrote the paper, as well as who cites the paper. So with this both textual information and the structural information, we use AI technology to tag each paper with the most relevant topics and classify it to the top-level domains and the subdomains. So once we join the Core 19 corpus with the MAG together, so we can understand not only on the individual paper level what each paper are talking about, we can also do some high-level analysis on the full collection, right? So here on the left bottom corner, we have the top domain distribution for the Core 19 47K papers. There's no surprise, the majority of them, close to 90% of them, are talking about the biology domain and the medicine domain topics. And on the right top corner, here have the subdomain distribution. So we can see that the papers are dominated by the virology and the immunology domains. And also there are like good amount of contents from the more underlying fundamental disciplines about the molecular biology and the genetics. And also you can see the last one, which also means that we have a decent amount of papers starting talking about a treatment in the intensive care medicine subdiscipline. Actually, originally I have more slides of the insight to share about the geo distribution or team size related, but with limited time, I'll skip those. But just to conclude, that's what we have shown about the stats and the topics, which are just a very small portion of kind of a sampler of the powerful tools and insight we can generate from the core 19 corpus and the Microsoft Academic Graph together. So as I mentioned earlier, there are more intriguing questions we hope we could help to explore and answer from both analytics aspect for policymaker as well as the KG assisted research aspect to facilitate the biomed researchers and the practitioners to more effectively explore the existing literatures, and hopefully like everyone can work together to finish this crisis earlier. So the very last slide as a summary. So very quickly, 3 key points. We discussed about the core 19 data set with 52K plus articles on full text, and also the MAG full graph with the 200 million plus publications, academic publications. And the third part is we can link these 2 data sets together and generate some very meaningful insights and enable more AI research to fight the COVID-19. And last but not the least, all the data sets are living corpus, which are updated on the weekly basis, and both data set as well as the mapping are freely available. So we can, like everyone can download all these data set and mappings to facilitate or explore for their own research. So that's all I have. So I'm welcome any questions, or we can leave all the questions to the last, to the end.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Iris. That was extremely interesting. And if it's okay with you, we'll go ahead and jump ahead to the next presentation, but please stick around for questions in the next 15 minutes or so.
Sure, I'll do that. Thank you.